Hi, everybody. I'm Tori.
I'm Courtney, and we're your bitch bag friends.
Today we are talking about someone Courtney loves a lot, and I like a moderate to high amount. and in Megan Fox, who was just on the Call Her Daddy podcast. So we're gonna respond and react to that episode of that podcast and tell us what we think about it.
My girl.
Yeah, Courtney, this was your idea. Um, can you tell us a little bit more about why you love Megan Fox?
I just like it. Like, I like her vibe. She's beautiful, obviously. And even like in like the beginning days of her career, like Transformers times when it was like not cool to like her, I still liked her. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is about her. She just seems chill.
Yeah, she does seem chill. And I will say, like, I'm just playing. I do like her. But I like her even more after watching listening to this podcast because I feel like she's like very down to earth and like cool. She would be cool to hang out with and funny.
Yes.
So
And it's like she doesn't realize she's the hottest girl on the planet.
yeah. Well, I don't I think that's kind of true. I also think it's just like a coincidence. Like it was just kind of like thrust in her
Yes.
lap that she's super hot and it's like not it's not her fault.
Well, and it's like it's not her entire personality, or like
Yeah.
that's not, she doesn't see that as like her greatest quality,
Yeah.
where most people would.
Mhm. Yeah, and like the way like she kind of talked about the way other people treat her, like how men and women treat her because of the way she looks and it's like it's not her it's not her fault and she's always trying to show people that she's more like she has more to offer than just the way that she looks.
Right.
And a lot of people are just like, "Well, we don't care." Like,
No,
yeah.
she's very smart. She's so fucking smart. And maybe that's why people don't love her. Maybe they want beautiful women to be stupid. Well, which she did kind of say, as far as like how women treat her, is like women don't want to see other women have it all. Like you can be beautiful or you can be smart, but you can't have both, which is
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah. I mean, look at us. That's not true at all.
Yeah, we're just beautiful, intelligent women trying to live our lives.
I know, leave us alone. Um yeah. Oh, and she was on the show to promote her book of poetry, right?
Yes, she was. And I have not read it. It's not that I don't want to. Um I just like written poetry is not usually my jam, but from her I will read it eventually.
Yeah. Well, I read a couple like I think you sent me one a while back and I was like this is actually really good. like
Yeah,
like
it
this is
was
even going
I
over my
don't
head kind of like because it's very like it's working on a lot of levels and it's really deep and
Mhm.
yeah, I was like from the little bit that I've read of her book is like I thought it was really good, really smart and like um very poetic and artistic, which a lot of people I think don't think equals intelligence, but that's because they're dumb and they can't do it and they don't appreciate how hard it is.
I agree with that. Well, and like I noticed for myself, like she is so well spoken and like her vocabulary is so good that I have to like really pay attention and focus when she's talking, because like that's not how I talk and that's not how most people around me talk. So to like understand what she's saying, I have to really focus in.
Yeah. Um how do you think cuz she said even like that she feels self-conscious cuz she didn't finish high school and she doesn't feel like she's smart, but she clearly is a very intelligent person. so
Which is wild because, like, how many complete fucking idiots do have high school diplomas? Like, it means nothing.
yeah. Yeah, it's too bad. I've been thinking about college a lot and the students I teach and I'm just like I don't know you guys. um yeah.
Are they just like, are they dodo? Like, tell me more.
Some of them I think I could talk for a long time about the state of college in the United States right now, but like I feel like people think it's a given, like that you shouldn't have to work hard to get a college education, or like you hear a lot about like even like they did a study of SAT questions, and like the SAT questions are easier now than they were 30 years ago. And so um like you could say I got a certain score on the SAT or the ACT and like brag about it, but if you lived 30 years ago, you wouldn't, you know. Basically like our expectations for students are really low, and so we're like not encouraging them to be excellent, and so then everybody thinks they can be an academic, which is like not true, because some people should go do other things and be good at
Mhm.
those things. And it's kind of like the people who maybe are academically gifted, like they're not really getting to refine those skills and be like a unique and useful part of the economy, because everybody is supposed to go to school. And it's like
Yeah.
so it
Well,
just
and
like waters down the whole system.
that's something that I'm like still bitter about when we were in school is like you were literally pushed like your whole high school, those 4 years, they're prepping you for college. And it's
Mhm.
like, this is what you do if you want to be successful. There is no other option,
Yeah.
which is totally stupid because, like, especially for men, if they go do like trade jobs, like, they're going to make more money than if they went to college for business or whatever and they're working in some stupid little office.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
like,
and it's not good, like it's not even I have trouble like sitting down all day and like working on the computer. So I can't imagine like if you were a man, and like I just feel like you need to like work in a different way, like work with your body and like be more like, engaged with your physical environment and more strategic about
mhm,
that. Cuz like the idea that everybody is just going to be glued to the computer for 10 hours a day in the future is massively depressing to me, and
it is.
I'm
Well, and
not here
like,
for it.
who's going to build your houses if
Yeah.
everybody's going to college? Nobody.
Yeah. That's why houses are so expensive. We don't have anybody to build them. Nobody knows how
No,
to do
and
anything.
any builder who like does quality work, they're just so slammed with jobs that like they're like, yeah, I can do this in 6 months.
Yeah. Um yeah, it's a mess. It'll probably even out. We'll probably figure it
It
out, right?
fucking better. Somebody fix this.
Okay, so thinking about high school and what like messages you receive and stuff. So like Megan Fox said that when she was in middle school and high school, she got Baker acted 5150. She was like depressed. She plucked out all her eyebrows. She said she was a weirdo kid. I I don't not believe her, but I find the transition from that to model slash actress at age 18 to be a sharp U-turn.
It's
What
aggressive.
what do you what do you think about all that?
Um, I think I think high school sucks. I think it's hard no matter who you are. And just hearing like when they did the fun questions at the end, I
Mhm.
feel like she was too smart to put up with the bullshit that normal teenagers are doing.
Yeah.
So people probably didn't like her because she didn't like them.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. Well, she did say she had a high school boyfriend, which I don't know. I feel like that makes you kind of cool when
It's
that's a
very
level
cool.
that's at least like a level of social ability that like not everybody has in high school.
Right.
And yeah, I think I
Well,
think did sorry, go ahead.
at one point she said she had one friend. Was that high school or was
Oh,
that later on?
I don't remember her saying that.
Or she said she never had a group of girlfriends, but she did have a friend.
Yeah. Um, yeah, because she doesn't put up with bullshit. That's why she just have a group of girls.
Yeah, I
It's
think that's
honestly
her
the
thing.
most work.
It is. I loved where the question was like, your friend is hung up on a guy who ghosted her after a week, and she's like, I wouldn't be friends with her. Instead of being instead of being like, this is the advice I'd give her, she's like, I just couldn't be friends with her,
Yeah,
which
I
is
love that.
hilarious. And the honesty.
Yeah,
But she's right. Like, get over it.
yeah. Um, I also love during that segment when she asked her. about like going up to a guy, and she's like, "It's not worth it."
And she's not wrong. She's like, "Have you
Really
ever?"
thought about it, and I was like, "She's right. It's not worth
Yes.
it."
She's so fucking smart. She's like, "Have you ever had dick so good that it changed your life? Don't waste your time." I'm like,
Yeah,
"You know what? I'm gonna fight with my husband tonight." She's right.
yeah. I mean, she's in a unique position because she's one of the most beautiful women in the world, and I'm sure she gets hit on all the time. And she
Mhm.
said she was single for like she's been single for like 3 weeks of her adult life. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so I do feel like that's a little bit of a unique position, but the spirit of what she said, I think, is very true.
I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, not worth it. And I was like, thanks, Megan. It's really
Thank
not.
you, Megan.
Because I feel like people are always like, when people try to give me dating advice, they're like, you gotta try harder. And I'm like, I don't think I do.
Why? Why?
I'm like, try harder for what? So I can keep
For
trying
what?
to.
Exactly. And that was her point. For what?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like she's very no nonsense, but also a lot of nonsense on the other hand.
A lot of nonsense. But it's like the deepest nonsense possible. Like the most like internal
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. What so like one thing that stuck out to me that I thought was really funny when she was talking about her plastic surgery, and I don't know how to classify what she believes, but she's like, she calls herself very spiritual, and she was talking about like getting surgery and like making sure the doctors hadn't seen any owls or bad
Mhm.
omens or anything. And I was like,
Mhm.
can you imagine like being a plastic surgeon and being like, no ma'am, I haven't seen any owls.
I thought the same thing. Like who agreed to that? And like are they just going to lie to her and be like, "Yeah, we're good. Let's go."
Yeah, or when she's like, I'll still pay for it, like I would probably,
I'd be like, "You
I
know
would,
what? I did see a black cat."
I have seen an owl, or like, well, or like I bet she schedules her surgeries like around the full moon and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
Yeah.
She's very very spiritual and like a not like a religious way, like far from religious, but
Yeah.
like I would say like astrology and like internally.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so that was interesting. And like I mean she takes herself very seriously even in that, even though I mean I wonder if she knows that other people think it's crazy, but she doesn't care.
I'm sure she does.
She's like, I can afford to act like this. Like
Right.
I can afford to reschedule this surgery if you saw a crow.
Yeah, take her to leave it.
I also like the other thing that she's done, and I've heard her do this in other interviews where she talks about how she and MGK are like soulmates and they've known each other for multiple lifetimes, and
They're
like
twin flames.
I mean that's beautiful if that's how she feels, but I'm also like, you're saying this like it's a matter of fact and like everybody should just agree that and like believe you, you
Right.
know?
I guess they
And
are. They are twin flames.
yeah, what do you think? Okay, what do you think their relationship status is right now?
Um, I think they're together but not. Like I don't think they're engaged.
Like, do you
I
think they have an open
think
relationship?
it's probably something like that where it's like we're together but we're not closed off to other possibilities. It's probably that's how I'm seeing it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. Who fucking knows?
It's hard to, yeah. Um, well, she did drink his blood. Well, it was mutual. They
Yes.
both drank each other's blood. That was another one of this is like the most I've ever been on her side about the blood drinking thing because I was always like,
Really?
that's crazy and like maybe a little bit evil. I don't love it. And then after she explained, she's like, all these other girls are going out and like passing out blowjobs like they're candy to
Mhm.
random strangers. And she's like,
Strangers.
all I did was drink a little bit of blood from this guy
Right.
that I have known for years and like am very intimate with. And, you know, he's my soulmate. And she's like, which one of those is more gross? And I was like, honestly, great point.
She's right again. And like I don't want to say I never found it weird, but the way like headlines and stuff were making it sound, you would think they drank like a cup of blood. Like it was what, a couple drops?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they were chugging blood.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird, but like in the realm that she's in of like you know, the like the spirituality and the astrology and psychics and the bad omens and stuff. I mean, it's pretty mild for like for that world, I feel
Yeah,
like.
I mean, it could be so much worse. When like when you are like that, I don't even know if it's love when you are so into somebody like that, like lust and love and all those feelings, and it's like you'll do whatever you can to feel as close to them as possible.
Mhm.
I think they wanted to crawl into each other basically, and it's like that was one of their ways to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and think of all the stories. I'm sure they've done more stuff that's not public. So,
I'm sure.
okay, so would you call him MGK or Colson?
It depends. Like if I'm talking about his music, I'd call him MGK. If I'm talking about his personal life, I'd probably say Coulson.
Hmm.
I feel like they're two different people.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Hmm.
Wait, so you seemed hesitant earlier. Are you still an MGK fan or no?
Um, as far as his rock music, I like.
Mhm.
I don't like his new stuff. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Um, as a person, I like we always knew he was like losing his marbles. Like what's a proper way to say he's batshit?
Yeah.
He's like not well.
Yeah.
Um I don't know. He's just he doesn't have his shit together like mentally and emotionally, and we knew that. Um I feel when she's talking about she at one point says when it becomes normal, like the physical abuse, she's like, and if you've gone a whole week without getting hit, she's like, that's a miracle. And I was like, if that's like, is she talking about him? And obviously she can't like clarify
Yeah.
who she's talking about, but like either way, their relationship is very toxic. And I feel like she can do so much better than that. But she also says she doesn't necessarily want to do better than that. Like she enjoys a toxic relationship, but she says she's never had a healthy relationship to
Yeah.
really compare it to. So I'm just like torn with knowing she's being so like mistreated in some way.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're girls and we've got that girl power and we're like, and like she's talking about she doesn't understand how a girl can be hung up on a guy after a week, but like she's kind of hung up on this guy who treats her like shit.
Yeah. That's a great point.
It is.
Maybe
Sorry,
he should
Megan.
ghost maybe he should ghost her and she'd be better off.
She would be real. But if
Um
she likes it, who are we to say?
um sure. We're professional podcasters and we're here to say you can break up with him, Megan. Uh
Yeah.
yeah. So do you yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ton of and it's like she has everything. Like she has money. She has she could easily get a new boyfriend, a new husband in like a day if she wanted to. But
Hmm.
for some reason she's very drawn to him.
She is.
Um but
Well,
yeah.
and
Well,
she said she like manifested him even from like being a child. She's like she knew what he would look like.
yeah.
Um
I mean it's a common look. All right. It's
in today's world it is a pretty common look.
what do you think about her relationship with Brian Austin Green, her marriage to him?
I have no idea. He seemed normal, maybe because he looks normal.
Yeah. He's
Um
definitely like not so he was like 30 something, like 31 and
he
she
was
was
older.
18 when they started dating.
Mhm.
Which is worse. It's a bigger gap than Taylor Swift and John Mayer, I'll say that. And
Yep, it is.
um, and also, I mean it was like 20 years ago. So I feel like
Yeah.
it was a little bit of a different time. Um,
Well, he seems well spoken, and he like the way they divorced seemed mature. Like he didn't like try to end her.
yeah,
He just kind of let her go.
yeah,
So that made him seem like a very understanding, normal person. But she's saying she's never been in a healthy relationship, and maybe it was him who was beating her up.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's such a weird thing to be like, I was physically abused, and then you only have two people who it could be.
Yeah,
I'm
but
surprised they're not both. I feel like people probably just assume it's MGK.
didn't she say she had been with other people like before Brian Austin Green? Maybe
I think
it would have to be before him.
she said that, and she said that when they were, well, I don't know like if she like got physical with anybody else or whatever, but she said when they first started dating, she was like not very loyal, and she like kept falling in love with other people.
Hmm.
So
So, like, if she considers them like relationships, it could have been people that we don't even know she's been with.
yeah, she got to write a tell-all. That's all.
Yeah, we're ready. Just give us
um
a full on documentary.
uh I guess let me see what else I have here. She with her plastic surgery stuff, she talked about like defending Kylie Jenner, which I thought was kind of interesting, of
Hmm.
like Kylie just being like more open about like feeling, I don't remember her point exactly, but she just said
The
like,
witch hunt.
yeah,
People
that,
trying to take Kylie down for no reason, really.
yeah, that people are just like always going to criticize you, and even if you try to do something different, then like you're still going to get beaten up. And
Hmm.
that was, I thought, well, I thought that was cool because she was like defending Kylie, and she's being a
Yeah.
girl's girl.
I do think she seems like a gross girl to the point where she will not be friends with you if she thinks you're not sticking up for yourself.
Which again, ironic because it seems like she either isn't or didn't stick up for herself. But
Yeah,
people
I
change.
agree. I agree.
Also,
Ironic.
we treat ourselves differently than we treat other people.
100%, to say the
um,
least.
yeah. One of the funniest things that I thought she said was when she was talking about her nose, and she said, and her makeup, and she said, "I just want to get to be just nostrils like
Yeah.
Voldemort."
She's like, I
That's what I
can't
was.
believe I'm on camera without contouring my nose. I'm like, your nose looks perfect.
Yeah, she was. That was hilarious. But okay, but she did talk about. This is now I remember what I was gonna get to. She talked about us having a secret procedure that she was gonna
Yes,
gatekeep from us.
which is not
What
nice.
What do you have any guesses about what that is?
Um, so she said it's not very well known. So it's possible. I mean, I'm into like I get filler and Botox, and I've looked into like other stuff. Something that's not well known. So she made it sound like she hasn't done anything to her body except for her boobs. She did her boobs 2 or 3 times.
I think she said 3 times.
Um, and so I'm assuming it's something on the face and something not well known. I don't know. Like, I don't know what is considered not well known to her. If it's like even people who are in plastics don't really know about it yet, or just like the general public doesn't really know about it.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think it's a face thing?
I assumed it was a face thing.
Okay.
And like, I would be interested to see what like, plastic surgeons will make videos where they're like, this is how they started and this is what they look like now and this is what I think they had done. I wonder if she could have maybe gotten a lip lift, which like just bumps it up a little.
Yeah.
Um, I would think maybe like the eyelid surgery, it's like blepharoplasty or whatever, where they like take the excess skin, but that's pretty well known. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting.
I
I
saw
did.
some comments that were like, "Oh, she got like vaginal reconstruction," but I don't know why you would gatekeep that. That's pretty well known.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like that's something she wouldn't be super shy about.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I watched one of those videos, or I saw one of those videos about Emma Stone, and I was like, Emma Stone doesn't have plastic surgery. And then I started watching
Oh.
it, and it's like, and it showed like
Mhm.
a picture of her from Superbad, and I was like, oh my gosh, she looks like a different person.
Yeah. Same with Taylor, but they're very, like, subtle. They still look like themselves,
Yeah,
just
and it
snatched.
yeah, and it happens like gradually over time, and then
Mhm.
you're just like, oh wow, I forgot they had teeth like that.
Yeah. Well, and it's like the amount of celebrities who have done the eyelid surgery, that can't be what Megan's talking about because everybody in Hollywood has had it done.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, kind of it's weird that you like if you want to be in that world like you can't really abstain from it. I think especially if you're a woman. Like obviously um there's guys that are just like this is what I look like, get over it.
Mhm. But it
But
is very rare for women to not do anything in
yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah. Plus I mean, you want to look your best. So,
Yeah. I
um
mean, I'm not in Hollywood, and you can catch me in 10 years getting a facelift. I'm sorry, it's happening.
yeah, some one of these days my anti-wrinkle cream is going to need some bigger support.
This retinol's not cutting it.
Okay, so Megan also said that she's an Enneagram 4, which was fascinating to me because I didn't know she was into that. My brother is trying to be or he's almost certified to be a mental health counselor, and he was really into the Enneagram a few years ago. He made everybody in our family take the test, and we all talked about it. So Megan is a 4,
So what
and
will you summarize it for me?
so an Enneagram is like it's a personality test. There's 9 different personality types, and you usually are drawn like in theory everybody has every side, but you usually have one side that you like kind of lean on more or express more. And a 4 is Megan called it the romantic. I know it as being called the artist, and
Mhm.
it's like you want to be. And my brother Keenan is a 4 also, which is kind of funny. He's the same as Megan Fox. um, but a 4 is like you want to be you like value being unique above all else. You're kind of the person that's like no one understands me, or like everyone thinks I'm this
Mm,
but I'm actually that, and only a few people can see it. And so like when somebody does see like the side, like the hidden side that like your true self that's kind of hidden, then you like love that person and you're like they
okay.
get me, they know the real
Mhm.
me. And so you kind of have this romantic view of yourself, and then anybody else who can see it is like, oh,
They've
they're
made it.
special. Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna go the other way, where when somebody did see them, they're, like, turned off by that because they wanna be unique. But
um yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's like it's like only a small percentage of people get to like appreciate the real them.
okay.
um and then they think, not that they think they're better than everybody, but they think that there's just like a like you have to be special to get it.
Mhm. Okay.
um
You're gifted.
yeah. Yeah, you're unique, you're an
Mhm.
artist, hard to
Yeah,
understand.
I think that's cool. That
Yeah.
I feel like that does sound like Megan.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'm a 5. I've taken this test a bunch of times. I'm a 5, which is like
Are you always a 5?
yeah, almost always. Um 5 wing 4.
Oh,
But
okay. So you're also
I understand wanting to be special. Everyone tell me I'm
yeah.
special.
I think you're special.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So 5 is like they call it like the scientist or the investigator, and you like really want to understand how things work. So if you like get interested in something,
Mhm.
like some people might call it autism, I don't know. You want to figure out
Hyperfocus.
you like if you like get interested in something, you want to figure out how it works and like understand it from every side.
Everything
And
about it.
yeah. Um and then once you figure out how something works, like then you feel confident about it, and then you enter into, you know, then you like
Mhm.
once you feel satisfied that you understand something, then you'll get involved. Which I feel like it makes sense for me. But you said
Yeah.
you took it recently, and you said
I
which one do you think you are?
So in the last it was just like in the last week or two, I took it twice. And the first time I was a 1, and that made sense to me. And then last night I took it again, and then I was a 9 wing 1.
Okay. Do you feel like the one when you read the description for the 1 or the 9, which one do you feel like makes more sense to you?
They make sense, like, combined. So, like,
Okay.
the 1 made a lot of sense. It's like rule following, it's like perfectionism,
Yeah.
and I feel like that checked out for me. And I can't remember what the 9 was from last night. Do you know what a 9 is?
9 is a peacemaker.
Oh,
So
that's right.
you're like always trying to seek harmony in your environment and in your relationships.
Um, and the 1 makes more sense because, like, I feel like I am very open to, like, both sides in an argument, and I usually understand both sides, but I'm not gonna step forward and try to make them agree on anything. I'm not trying to keep the peace, I just see
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I mean, my guess, I really thought you were going to be a 6. A 6 is like
And
very loyal and they're like very protective of their people and they do the right thing and like they're very dependable. So I thought that you were going to be a 6.
mm,
But being a
but
1 makes sense.
I don't think I'm a 6 because if you were to break the law and go to jail, I'd be like, "Sorry."
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, "Free Tory." I'd be like, "You do your time."
Yeah, that's funny. I remember well, okay, that's funny because it reminds me of remember when I think it was when Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis made that statement about Danny Masterson
Mhm.
and you were like, I would never do that for one of my friends, and I was like, I
I wouldn't.
probably would.
I wouldn't. Like, "Sorry,
Depending,
go to
maybe not for
jail."
child molestation, but like for something else.
I wouldn't even do it for my own husband. If he got in trouble, if he was in, like, a bar fight or something and got thrown in the drunk tank, is that what they call it? I'd be
Yeah.
like, "See ya in the morning." Like, "I'm not
Yeah.
coming to get you.
All
You're
right. I
acting
guess
up, you can pay."
you are one.
Yeah, there's no loyalty here.
That's hilarious. We don't have to talk about it in depth, but did you watch that Nickelodeon documentary,
No, I
Quiet
want
on
to
Set?
so bad. Like,
It's mad.
I already knew it was garbage, but I'm ready to hear details.
It's massively depressing.
Yeah.
Not enough. I hope they have one more episode coming out this month, I think, and I need some more info on Amanda Bynes. That's all I can say.
It's on Netflix, right?
It's on HBO
Oh, HBO.
Max.
And it's what's it called? Quiet
Quiet
on
on
the
Set.
Set? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tune in.
And actually, well, you recommended, I think, the Jeanette McCurdy book to me, and I
Mhm.
was reading that book actually is like what sparked the investigation that led to this documentary because she
Good.
was talking about how bad it was on set, and then they were like, we should really look into this.
And, like, can you imagine
Like,
if
where
they
was everybody
didn't?
at 15
Yeah.
years ago,
What
dummies?
the hell? Like, it's a
Ah,
company full of adults and nobody saw anything?
I just, yeah, I don't. I
It's gross.
as much as I think that like Hollywood seems really cool and like a fun place to live and work, I'm like, I don't think I would last. Like, I don't think I could put up with all that nonsense and like
I
treating people the way they do.
Have you been to LA?
Yeah.
So I went to LA once or twice, and it was just, like, the most, like, disappointing trip. I was expecting glam and, like, Hollywood, like, how they tell you Hollywood is, and it was just gross. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it
We
was
did.
fun, like, hanging out with the person I was with. It was, like, to visit a boyfriend, so, like, I obviously just went to see him. I wasn't there to see LA,
Yeah.
but it was just not what I was expecting.
Yeah. I went when I was 16, which is now almost 20 years ago. I would love
We're
to go back as an
old.
adult to see it. Um, but yeah, I we went out to lunch one day, like on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and there was like a syringe in the bushes next to
Oh
we were
god.
eating lunch. And we were like, my dad's like, this is the touristy part. Like, shouldn't they hide the drugs?
Clean up a bit. So is that where the stars are on the ground?
Yeah.
So I didn't, like, stop and, like, walk around there, but we, like, drove down that street, And I just remember being like, I don't want to get out and see it. Like it's gross here.
Yeah. And yeah, we went to the beach one day and it was just like, I don't know, like Michigan's a nicer beach. Like,
Yeah. It is. Let's be
yeah.
real. And then like
So,
downtown LA, like don't even bother.
yeah. Um, so I don't know.
And who
I
knows
like
what it
it.
looks like now with all the like the amount of homeless people and then like all the other political shit going on. I'll stay here.
Yeah. Yeah. I uh when I was living in New York, a lot of people, a lot of people move from New York to LA or vice versa, and I was just like, you know what? See ya. Like I'm never gonna
Bye.
like I do want to go on vacation, but I could never live there. And I also
Enjoy.
like I could never like I would love to live in a place where I don't have to have a car, but like LA, like you spend hours a day in the car, and that's not for
Yeah.
me.
To go like 5 miles.
Yeah. And one of my friends was thinking about moving to LA, and she's like, if I do, I'm gonna have to pay to get a driver because you spend so much time in the car that people like they sit in the back of their car and they work because they
Oh,
can't afford to like spend hours not working.
yeah.
Um,
That actually
so
makes sense.
I was like, ugh,
Yeah.
gross. Not for me.
Not for me. Not for me.
But
This
is
is
it
usually
Megan
this
Fox
is
probably lives in
usually
LA.
does she live in LA?
Probably. Isn't she from California? No, she's from Tennessee.
I don't know.
She seems like a California girl to me.
I think so. I think she likes
Or
the
maybe
hustle and
Miami.
bustle.
Maybe she's more like, I'm done with this California. I'm going to Miami.
I can't see that.
um, do you want to add in what Taylor's been up to?
I honestly don't know what Taylor's been up to. So she was in what, Costa Rica or something?
Bahamas.
Bahamas? Okay. She was in
Um,
Bahamas with Uncle Trav.
Uncle Trav. Did you read any of the main takeaway from the headlines that I saw was that people were like, isn't it so great that Taylor and Travis are on the beach with their normal bodies and like
They look
basically
fucking amazing. Are you kidding
basically
me?
talking about how like Taylor's gained some weight and she feels confident in her body, and I'm like, she looks
No.
amazing. Like she's
She
not
looks so
anorexic
fit.
anymore. That's
She
all. But
looks she looks like an athlete. I'm sorry.
she's
And like
extremely fit, and
they're
she's
both sorry, we're both trying to talk at the same time because we're just like, fuck this. Okay, you go first.
but yeah, it's just like she's not anorexic anymore. Literally, like I'm not exaggerating when I say that.
Yes.
And she's extremely fit. I'm sure she has a fine dietitian and chef, and she's working out all the time. And people are like, "Oh, it's so great that she has a normal body." She doesn't have a normal body.
No.
she
They are both so above average. It's like the fact that there are people who think they don't look good. It's like, what is wrong with that person?
Yeah, and then they were saying that like Travis has a dad bod and like isn't he comfortable in his skin? And I'm like, no dad looks like that.
Yeah, look around.
Look at how tall and strong he is. That is not a dad bod.
That is not a dad bod. That's a daddy
He
bod.
like they're just saying that because he doesn't have a six pack, and it's like,
Which he does, but he's also eating food. So, and like, he's a football player. They're not supposed to look
yeah.
like no fat on their bodies.
And I'm just like, what world are these people living in that they think that these are normal? This is like what the normal American looks like.
I don't know.
I mean,
It blows my mind.
I concede the point. Like, I'm also happy that Taylor's not anorexic anymore. But to say that she like doesn't like that she's not maintaining a high level of physical fitness
Which is
is
wild.
not is
Have they
not
not
right.
seen her doing 3-hour shows?
Yes.
Running, dancing, singing? Like, where are you?
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. But I hope they had a good time in the Bahamas.
Oh, did you also see there were like pictures of them. I don't know if there was a video, but there were like pictures and they were like, oh, they're arguing. They're like out to eat and she's just like animated while she's talking. And it's
He
like,
probably has no idea even what she's saying. Like,
yeah.
like God bless him, but I'm
I
sure
know.
like
Poor guy.
60% of what she says goes completely over his head.
I'm sure he tries his hardest, and that's what she loves about him.
Yeah. Um, I love him. Taylor and Trav forever.
Forever.
Well, we did this podcast at 10 p.m. Did you get? No, you don't think that's funny?
Oh, okay. We're back on Megan. I was still on Taylor. Back to Megan. Yes, it's like 11 o'clock now in the
Yeah, it's getting
nighttime.
close to midnight. Just kidding. It's 9 a.m.
It's 10 a.m.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Anything else we should add about our girl Megan? Our girl Taylor?
We love her, and if
They're
you guys
divine.
don't leave her alone, we're gonna show you.
Yeah, be nice to Megan Fox. She's very smart, very talented. And oh, this is what I wanted to ask you. What do you think is next for Megan Fox? Because she kept threatening to like go in a hole.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't do this. I hope she sees positive changes after that interview. Hopefully there are more interviews or things showing the real her that like make people love her.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope she hasn't done a movie in a while. Maybe I could be wrong about that, but I hope she starts doing more movies
I know
again.
she did. I don't know what it was, if it was a full movie or a short movie. I never watched it, but she did something with MGK. It was like
Okay.
a stoner movie.
I missed it.
It's not for me.
All right. Well, we love Megan. We're here for it. We want good things for her. And we're your bitch pack friends.
Bye.
Bye.